YouTube? This is Ty, your metalhead weatherman. Hope you guys have had a good day and are having a good evening right now. Just making this video to quickly go over the severe weather that's expected tonight and into tomorrow, and then even touch on what's becoming a very big topic amongst the weather community, that there is a potential for a severe weather outbreak early next week with rare day 6 and day 7 slight risk and even an enhanced risk. Before I get into that, to any of you that like what I'm doing, anyone that's catching these videos, especially in the areas that I'll be talking about, if you like what I'm doing, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, and share the video so that we can get the algorithm going, so we can get these videos out to people that need them. That being said, let's get into it here. So we actually have an enhanced risk tonight. A little bit of a change, as well as an enhanced risk for tomorrow. This is due to a slightly more elevated tornado threat. But as you can see here, storms are starting to pop off around where that low pressure that I had highlighted yesterday. And you can see a few severe thunderstorms in this severe thunderstorm watch area that the National Weather Service had issued not too long ago. So let's take a look at the enhanced risk tonight, and then we'll look at tomorrow. Then we'll look at the big topic of the story. It's causing a lot of buzz amongst the weather community. So, as you can see, our small enhanced risk area is maybe just north of New Orleans in areas like Baton Rouge, and just starting to extend into Mississippi, just barely, right around the Panhandle. Our slight risk hasn't changed much. Our marginal risk has extended a little bit more north, but we don't really take the marginal risk seriously, even though there's still a chance of tornadoes and so on and so forth, or at least that's what people tend to think. And there we have it. And they've even put a hatched risk now, which means there is a chance for even a few strong to violent tornadoes, something above EF2 in that little hatched 10% area. It's the little area where there's like a black outline and it's almost a dashed area, if you want to call it that. We also notice now that compared to yesterday, this area didn't have a tornado threat on it. It was only the Gulf Coast area. Now Oklahoma City has a 2% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of a given location. So areas like Oklahoma City, you're included in this. So tornado threats ramped up. Wind threat has remained the same, and the hail threat, there is actually now a hatched risk for hail larger than 2 inches right around Oklahoma City. Nothing unexpected there, given the lapse rates that I was showing yesterday, given the lapse rate that I was seeing and showing to you guys yesterday. So let's look to day 2 and see why they have upped this to an enhanced risk. To be honest, there's a small part of me that's really not surprised. They've also increased the coverage of the slight risk area too. So the enhanced risk area includes Mobile, Pensacola, Ferry Pass, and a lot of other areas around the Panhandle of Florida mostly. Slight risk now extends all the way through pretty much all of Alabama. Biloxi, you're in this. Nashville, you're in this now. The Quad States region, you're in this. Excuse me. And of course, our marginal risk goes into the Ohio Valley, into Ohio itself, actually, in areas like Columbus, Cincinnati. You're in play. Atlanta, you're in the marginal risk. Lexington, Kentucky. Pretty much all of Kentucky is almost in a marginal risk. Pretty much from the west to the east. So we're going to try to take a look here at our hazards and see what's the prevalent threat here. And once again, National Weather Service has picked up on the enhanced kinematics and thermodynamics and has now put a hatched risk around where that enhanced risk is for strong to violent tornadoes rated from EF2 to EF5. This doesn't, keep in mind that these hatched risks don't guarantee that it's possible, that it's likely, but it is definitely possible, and there is an increased chance of it. It can still happen in this 5% and 2% area, but this is where the best conditions are available for those kinds of tornadoes. So as we look towards the wind threat's more widespread tomorrow. Nothing surprising there. and this wind threat stretches through the entire marginal risk and slight risk, and the enhanced as well, not surprising. And then, interestingly enough, towards the Quad States region, we have a hatched risk for 2-inch hail or larger within 25 miles of a point. This includes areas like, I hate to say it, Mayfield, and areas that were affected in that severe weather outbreak back in December. Tornado threat isn't that high for you, but hail is very much a possibility. It may bring back some bad memories. To anyone that feels that way, I do apologize that you're going through this again. It is that time of year, so please, anyone, regardless of whether you're in the Quad States region, an area that's been hit before, recently, or in the Gulf Coast, just stay weather aware. I expect Friday to be more of a daytime threat, but you never know. There is a slight chance that some of this may linger later into the day. But anyway, we're going to go to day 3. And then we have a slight risk now for the East Coast. Delmarva Peninsula, you are in play. Washington, D.C., Savannah, Charleston, Cape Hatteras. All of you guys are in play for this upcoming round of severe weather. Likelihood is that this will be remnants of what's coming through the southeast tomorrow, and this will most likely be a wind threat. I think the closer you get to the coast, though, there may be a chance for a few more spin-ups. We can't get a look at all the hazard types because in day 3 they just don't have all the kinematics and thermodynamics really nailed down the same as they would within the 48-hour period. But day 3, do expect some severe weather early in the morning. It may linger later into the day, but it should be out by nighttime for sure. So that being said, we're just going to take a quick look at the short range models, see what we got going on right now. Temperatures. I've zoomed in on the south central U.S. where everything's popping off right now. So looking into Texas, we're looking at the HRRR. We're within range now. So temperatures will be dropping throughout the night, but you can see the contrast in temperatures. You can see where our front is. So where this contrast in temperatures is where the storms are going to be forming. And then as we move further off, and as time goes on, we see this cold air start to move in, and we watch this warm air move further off to the east, and that's where our battle zone for the storms are going to be. And then look over here in Louisiana around 8, 9 in the morning, their time. Just look at the temperatures here. We're getting into the 70s. The dew points are still high, just like I had shown yesterday. Not much has changed here, so the atmospheric parameters are right where you would want them to be if you're looking for a few tornadoes to be possible. Maybe even some strong ones. There you go. Look at that. We have some dew points even pushing towards the 70s. Good grief. So definitely be on the lookout in the early morning into the afternoon for severe weather, and then you can even see how it's starting to push off to the east. These rich dew points. You can even see around some parts of the Panhandle, Alabama, and going into the Panhandle of Florida that we have dew points near the 70s. That's very alarming if you're looking for a tornado outbreak. That's a telltale sign. So we already know that there is going to be a low-level jet that goes through there, and there's going to be plenty of wind shear. We do know that there's going to be sufficient CAPE available based off of last night's video. So there's no question that we're going to have severe weather today and tonight and into tomorrow. So, like I said before, any of you guys in these areas, please stay weather aware. because this I've only been seeing this uptick, which is a little bit concerning in my honest opinion. But anyway, now that I've talked about that, and it's not like I don't love you guys down there, even though most of you haven't really seen these videos yet, we're going to take a look at the week ahead and the real topic of this video. So all of this wild weather is being caused by this little bowling ball here. What we're looking at is the geopotential height and anomaly map. It's basically a map that depicts low and high pressure. High pressure is in the red, low pressure is in the blue. The high pressure is what most people want. High pressure usually is associated with fair weather, and the low pressure here, is usually associated with unsettled weather. So as we move forward here, here's our little bowling ball of unsettled weather and energy. So as we move forward, this is gonna sort of evict its way out of here. And then I want you to pay attention real closely to this monster right here. This is going to be the catalyst behind the severe weather outbreak that's expected this upcoming week. So as we move forward, this thing really starts to get its act together. It's been showing this signal for days. And now we're starting to call it what it is, a threat. There's still a lot to be hashed out about still a lot of details to be hashed out about this, but definitely looks like Monday is going to be a particularly dangerous day. Anything off to the east of where this is right here, I say that there is a threat for pretty much all hazard types of severe weather, including tornadoes. So anyone around Dallas in particular, I know I've been calling you guys out a lot, but you guys are definitely under the gun, and this is one of the more impressive threats that I've seen. One of the probably the most impressive threat I've seen this year so far. So, like I said, anyone in Dallas, into the Red River Valley, pretty much, keep your eyes open on Monday in particular. There could be some very nasty storms heading your way. So as we move this further along, of course, this is going to go further and further east. Before I go into that a little further, I do want to show you guys a little something. And you can even see what looks to be a negative tilt on this trough as it's moving to the east. Whenever you see something like that, that's usually a telltale sign that something's about to pop off here. This is a little bit more of a powder keg type setup. Don't necessarily be alarmed, but don't take this lightly either. But whenever you see a storm system like this pointing off to the southeast, this is what you call a negatively tilted trough, and usually there's some wild weather behind it. The good news is this doesn't stay that way for long for areas that are further off to the east. I wish it wasn't that way for you guys in Texas, but there's nothing I can do about that. I only call the weather and try to predict it. I can't control it, unfortunately. So as we move forward, this goes back positive, thankfully. So the worst of the weather, so the most severe weather does not carry on into Tuesday, Wednesday, and later into the week. But there's still going to be a very strong low pressure here, and there's going to be a lot of wind energy behind this. So I think the threat may shift from a potential tornado outbreak on Monday to a damaging wind threat through the rest of the week. So, and then there's going to be a very quick cool down on the eastern half of the country. Starting to lose you here. So after that, like after the storms roll through, there's going to be a brief cool down in the eastern half of the country. And then we're going to have a ridge of high pressure developing again in a period of quiet, it looks like, for a little bit. Keep in mind, though, this is over 300 hours out at this point. So a lot can and most likely will change with that. That's my saying when it comes to looking into the forecast models this far out, and I'm sticking to it. So that being said, let's take a look at the lower level jet here. Let's take a look at the lower level dynamics. Try to see just exactly what could lie ahead for us here in regards to the weather on Monday. I think I've clicked the wrong map here. Just give me a second. So I'm actually going to open up something differently. Do something a little bit differently here. So I'm not used to using tropical tidbits as much as I am pivotal weather. I've become a little bit more comfortable with that setup. So we're going to go to the GFS here, and we're going to look at the lower level shear, get an idea of just what it is that we're going to be working with on Monday in particular, because that seems to be the particular day of interest. National Weather Service actually, and I meant to show you this earlier, National Weather Service has this a very rare situation outline. So alright, so as we look at day 4, Sunday is going to be our rest day. So anyone pretty much in the south and eastern half of the country, enjoy this as much as you can, because after that things are going to get pretty bumpy here. And then day 5, look at this. So this little orange area here in particular, this is a 30% chance of severe weather within 25 miles of a given point. You don't see this issued very often, maybe once a year, if even that. So that just shows how confident all the top meteorologists on the planet are about there being a severe weather outbreak around Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas. In all modes, all hazard types of severe weather are possible. So if you're in this area, definitely pay attention, because there could be some very nasty weather coming your way. So, and then we also still have very rare day 6 and day 7 slight risk areas that are pretty sizable too. So this shouldn't be taken lightly either. Like, look at how big this area is. I wouldn't put it out the realm of the possibility that there could be a 30% area put in here as well. It's not unreasonable to think that. Same with day 7. And then we looked at day 8. It says predictability too low. So, and even then that leaves a possibility that there could be a slight risk issued by tomorrow for this day. Day 8's going to be Friday of next week. So this just goes to show how active our weather pattern is right now. Alright, so this should be loaded up now. So we're going to go... I may have foobarred this real quick. I got to go to the forecast loop. Keep on dropping the ball here, guys. My apologies. So GFS usually loads pretty quick. And I'm logged into my account today, to anyone that saw that last video where I kept having ads pop up. That was my fault. I apologize for that. But we're going to move forward to day 4, about 96 hours out. We're going to go to a quiet day here, and we're just going to kind of watch how things start to unfold from that point. After that, we're going to be pretty much done with this video here. It's not too much I can really look at here this far out as far as severe weather is concerned, like Cape values and lapse rates. The main thing that I'm most interested in is the tornado threat in particular, because usually with the National Weather Service issuing something like an enhanced risk this far out, usually there's going to be a fair number of tornadoes associated with it, or at least that's what the thinking is going to be. Okay, so we're at Monday now, and you can see where our trough is starting to dig in, and you can see how much wind energy is already associated with this. At some points we're probably going to be talking about a low level jet of nearly 85, 90 miles, maybe even 90 knots or more. So as we move further and further forward, right around 3 o'clock, we have a jet of near 80 miles an hour near where our slight and enhanced risk are. And then as time goes on, this looks like, if anything, it starts to deepen. So anything around the southeastern region of this needs to be watched very closely for development of tornadoes. We're going to take a look at one more thing here. Well, actually, no. Actually, I think I'm going to save that for another video. So this low-level jet moves on, and there's still plenty of energy to go with it. Thank goodness, though, it's not negatively tilted anymore. So this is going to transition towards more of a damaging wind threat, but who's to say that there still can't be embedded supercells within that? I think I'm going to do a more in-depth video about this tomorrow afternoon. Maybe even post 2 videos over the weekend if necessary. I know I don't have much viewership, but if I can get this word out to anybody and help someone, I'm down to do it. So it takes till about Friday or Saturday for this low-level jet to move out, and then things will quiet down again. Jeez, it's gonna be a very, very active week ahead for us. So if you're in any of the areas that I called out, especially for Monday next week, please be weather aware. Don't take this lightly. So the last thing you want to have happen to you is be caught off guard by some of these monster storms that we're pretty much starting to expect to form. But with that being said, again, it's been Ty, your metalhead weatherman. Stay safe, stay metal. Hope you guys have a good night. Peace out.